Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Beyond Whiskey with Perez. I'm your host, Perez. Joining me tonight is a friend of mine named Kate. She is a world-renowned whiskey connoisseur. She has all types of certificates and fancy titles. No, I'm just playing. And my wife is behind the camera / my cell phone, as normal. And like I teased in the last video, tonight we're doing porked wine finish cask bourbon. In this corner we have Old Elk, and in this corner we have Angel's Envy. Originally, my plan was to do a blind taste test. However, if you look at the colors, one is definitely darker than the other. And if you look at the bottles, you can see which one is darker than the other. So really wouldn't have worked out as a blind taste test. So we're just going to do a regular bourbon taste test review. We just cracked these bottles. These are fresh pours. Both these bourbons are finished in port wine casks. Both are from both distilleries use barrels from Portugal. So it's reasonably, that's not the word I'm looking for. You can put together that they're probably going to be similar with
safe assumption.
With the cask all being from Portugal. Here's what the main differences are. Angel's Envy is aged about 6 years, and this is 86.6 proof, which is kind of in a wheelhouse of regular bourbons,
Yeah, it's on the lower end.
Yeah.
I would say.
This Old Elk is aged 5 years, and this is 108.1 proof. So it's a little bit of a jump up from the Angel's Envy. How do you think this is going to go?
Judging by the color, shorter amount of time, but could have had a faster extraction because of the alcohol.
Okay,
Depends on when they proofed it down.
right.
Do we know? Does it say?
I
No statements, right?
No statements. And I looked on the sites and I didn't really see anything about that either.
Keep that under their hat.
Yeah. So which one would you like to try first? I've never had the Old Elk.
Let's start there.
Let's start with the Old Elk. So we're going to smell it first. That's an interesting nose. You can definitely tell it's a higher proof.
It goes almost maple syrup for me,
Almost maple syrup. Absolutely.
which I love.
I get a little vanilla.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So far, maple syrup and vanilla. You could definitely smell the proofage. Yeah, there's a lot of maple syrup and vanilla on this. Maybe a little, what is that, like a nutmeg?
I can give you spices like that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
smells nice. Definitely smells nice.
Only get like little hints of port.
Little, very little, very little.
It's fleeting. It's kind of like,
Yeah,
I'm guessing it'll be maybe a bit of a mid-palate thing and then kind of, until it's open maybe.
right. Shall we try it?
I think we should.
Let's try it. Cilantro.
A lot of oak.
Lot of oak. You can definitely tell it's a 108 proof. It's got a little bit of body to it. A lot of oak. I'm getting is that black licorice? Getting oak, black licorice.
It's really tight.
Yeah, it's tight. It's pretty good though. I would definitely try this with a cube.
I think it'll open nicely, I think. A little bit of water.
Yeah, we'll get the water right there. Babe, what do you think? What are you getting? I know this is probably a little stronger of a bourbon than you're used to.
Not my forte.
Not your forte.
Not my forte. I was a little disappointed to not have the maple syrup translate in the flavor.
It might, yeah.
It might
It
when
might,
maybe when
yeah.
it opens up a little bit, but the nose gave me a little bit of hope.
Hope.
Yeah, right now it's a lot of oak.
Yes,
Lot
very
of-
oaky.
Yeah, very oaky.
Well, 5 years you'd expect that. Then.
Right.
Small cask or large cask? Do we know?
Small cask, I believe. The Angel's Envy is finished in, well, I believe it's aged in small casks, and when they move it to the finish
Yeah,
for like 6 months, that's a large cask.
that explains.
Same thing with the Angel's Envy. They're moved to 60-gallon drums, like 60-gallon casks.
Yeah.
Angel's Envy?
Cleansing the palate.
Yeah, it just cleanses mine. All right, so it's a similar-ish, but kind of different too. If that makes any sense, guys, you know what I mean.
Ruby port cask?
Yeah,
Yeah, there it is.
yeah, you can definitely smell that. I'm also getting. See, now this I'm getting black licorice on the nose. And
Yeah, it's subtle, but it's there.
it's some type of fruit. Is that like apricot?
Apricot, fig, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Stone fruit.
Yeah. What are you getting?
About the same.
About the same?
Yeah.
Hey, babe, what do you smell it?
Bourbon.
Bourbon? Well, I mean,
On that note, shall we try it?
let's try it. Okay, right off the bat, it's smoother. But it also might be because it tastes a little thinner than the Old Elk. Now on this one, you can definitely taste a little bit of that sherry. I'm sorry, not sherry, port. There's something in the background I can't put my finger on the finish. Almost like yeasty, kind of fruity. Like a fruit tart. What do you think? What are you getting?
I could get like a little bit of crust sort of
Yeah,
action
yeah.
sort of thing. Yeah, I could.
Babe, what are you getting? Bourbon?
Bourbon.
Nice.
I mean, you know, it is bourbon, so you are in the right wheelhouse.
So this might surprise you a little bit. At first sip, I think I like the Old Elk better.
Really?
Yes.
I
I
can see-
feel like it's more complex, the finish is better. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
I told you it would surprise you.
I don't ever want to refer to Angel's Envy as a bit pedestrian,
Right. Right, it is.
but well, I don't think the rye is.
No, the rye is not at all. The rye is awesome. The
This-
bourbon is a little
It's
on the lighter side.
yeah.
But if you're new to bourbons, I think Angel's Envy would definitely do you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think you would love some Angel's Envy.
Oh yeah.
I could see. I can see how you think the Old Elk's more complex. I think the Angel's Envy, I think it's a thicker feel. It's more viscous.
And we know I like things that are more viscous.
Right. So,
We should have probably started with that.
probably should have started with Angel's Envy.
It's a bit more subtle.
Yeah. It's softer.
Yeah.
So now it's time to add a little water.
Open it up. And this one's 86?
86.6. And this is 108.1. So a little water. Let's see what it does. See how it changes. Does it change the nose at all?
Oh, it's way more maple syrupy after.
Yes.
Way more.
Oh yeah, the maple syrup's definitely more pronounced. I feel the vanilla's more pronounced.
So is the oak.
The yolk is definitely like right there. Oh, what is that? Is that like caramel too?
We don't see what the char is on those barrels, right? Assuming it's like
I think it's number 3.
number 3. Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I don't really look into all that. It's just all about the taste and having fun with it.
You got a little bit more maple in the mouth now.
Okay, so with the water, got a little more of the maple. Get a little bit of pepper. I got a little pepper there.
I'll give you pepper.
Yeah,
I'll give you pepper.
I think the water smoothed it out a little bit. It's not quite as thick as it was before.
This might be best on a cube, honestly.
I think so.
It's
think
still
so.
a little hot. Like it opened up a lot.
Yeah, I think it would be. All right, cleanse my palate. Go to the Angel's Envy with the water.
Still, no port for me.
No, very little. I'm not getting any actually, which is weird because it's aged. I think it's finished 5 to 6 months in the port cask.
Was it a ruby or a tawny?
Ruby.
Huh.
So I think we need to buy some port because I don't know what port tastes like, so I don't know what I'd be looking for.
Okay.
I should have brought my frame of reference.
Well, you only knew you were doing this earlier today.
Go ahead, touche.
I was like, hey, I know you're coming over tonight. We're going to record a video. You're going to be on camera. Surprise. I'm moving to the Angel's Envy.
I'm like,
You're still stuck on the Old Elk? What's wrong?
I don't get any port in the mouth, but on the palate, but
I don't get a lot of it.
maybe underneath.
I don't get a lot of it at all. Which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I think so.
I got a little bit of honey just now too.
A lot more now in Angel's Envy though.
Oh yeah, it's Angel's Envy on the nose almost became sweeter with the water. Definitely some honey. It's almost, I don't want to say floral, but it's kind of floral. So I'm gonna say floral. I'm not an expert, guys. Just bear with me.
It's actually quite pleasant now. It's a bit more complex, I think. It didn't need much. I just put a drop in. Made a little bit of difference.
Oh yeah, it's smoother. It was pretty smooth before, but now it's smoother. A little bit of honey. Was it?
A little bit more
A
depth.
little more
to it.
depth. Yeah. Now this one, I think you could definitely taste that port wine finish. I think that's where the sweetness is coming from.
Yeah, a little bit of raisiny.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, I can taste that. I definitely get that. But the like fruit tart that I was getting before is no longer there.
Mm-mm.
It's definitely more floral, raisiny, a little bit of honey. Pepper's gone.
I still don't really
It's
get
nice.
port on the palate for the old elk, but I do get it a little bit on the nose.
On the
now.
nose. I'm not getting any.
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
Not
No,
a lot.
definitely not. I'm not. Okay, so pre-water, this is more complex.
Mm-hmm.
Post-water, not so much. I think the cube would definitely help this one. Pre-water, this was not as complex. This went the opposite direction. Add a little bit of water, became a lot more complex. Really smooth. The proofage would definitely sit right with people who are not real acclimated to bourbons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Still one of my favorite bourbons though. Like this is Angel's Envy is one of my go-tos. This and Bib and Sucker. It could be my daily. Love Bib and Sucker. You know what they do with 10-year?
Do they?
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
me neither. I can't find it.
I'll keep my eyes open for it.
Appreciate it. If you guys see Bib and Sucker 10-year, contact me. I'll Venmo you some money. Then you can send me Bib and Sucker 10-year. I would love that. Yeah, I don't know. So I think in the battle of the port cast finish, after the water, my choice is still Angel's Envy.
It's a better representation of a port cast. finish,
It
I
is.
think.
I agree. 'Cause you don't really get a lot of it under Old Elk. Not that this is bad. I'm not saying this is bad by any stretch of the imagination. This is delicious. But when it comes to the port cast finish and what you want with that, Angel's Envy definitely is the winner in this particular aspect.
If that had a couple more years, I think shorter amount of time in the small barrels, that oak is too aggressive
Right.
to take in much from the finish. I think
No, I agree.
at that proof.
I agree. I think that's probably what happened. 5 years is not really a long time when it comes to bourbons. But you know,
Still not bad.
we've still not bad at all. Still pretty good. I have other stuff from Old Elk that I really like. Their rye is fantastic, which I have a bottle of. So what do you think? What's your final thoughts?
Angel's Envy.
Mm-hmm.
I like the subtlety.
Mm-hmm.
I like how it opened.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't need too much, just
Nope.
a little bit of a push along. Everything's pretty balanced.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy sipping.
It is.
It's not
Very
gonna
easy.
knock you over.
No.
No.
What she said. I couldn't have said it any better. I agree with everything she just stated. These both will definitely get drunk. Like, you know, they're not going to go to waste. I recently discovered the Old Elk product line, and I'm enjoying everything I have from them. I think I have 3 or 4 bottles. So keep doing what you're doing. However, when it comes to this one, maybe age it a little longer. Not that what I have to say has any bearing on what you do, but, you know, as a consumer, that's what I would like to see. Babe, any last thoughts?
Drink more bourbon.
There it is.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. I know you watch probably a lot of videos online like we do. And everyone's got a catchy slogan at the end. I don't. Yet. Coming. I gotta think of one. Any suggestions? Put it in the comments. Subscribe to my page. I would appreciate that. Because that'd be nice. Hit the bell. Whatever that is. Gotta put the fancy graphic up there eventually. But I'm doing this for fun. Appreciate you watching. Love most of you. Have a good night.